The first ever PlayStation 5 game has been announced, and it is called Godfall. It's being referred to as a third-person fantasy looter slasher, featuring both PvP and PvE combat. Now, if you're a fan of the looter shooter genre, things like Borderlands, you might be pretty familiar with this gameplay style. If this is the kind of thing you like, but you also like hack and slash style combat or something more akin to Dark Souls and God of War, then this is going to be the type of game that you are going to die for. Godfall is a melee combat focused looter slasher that's going to be available on the PlayStation 5 and the Epic Games Store. We have no talks of it ever possibly coming to the Xbox, and we also have no talks of it coming to any other platform other than the Epic Games Store. Now, the projected release date is going to be holiday 2020. We only know so much about the game, but thankfully we've had a couple different interviews come out and a little bit of tidbits here and there to tell us more about the game. We know that Godfall is going to be developed by a company called COUNTERPLAY Games, and we also know that it is mainly published by Gearbox, the same development team that's brought you Borderlands. It's not exactly clear how much Gearbox is contributing to the actual development side of things, but we do know that they're working very closely to ensure that Godfall is going to be an amazing launch. COUNTERPLAY Games has been around for a little bit, shipping their first game on August 23rd, 2016, called Duelist. Now, it did receive a Metacritic score of 85, however, it is a free-to-play collectible card game, turn-based strategy hybrid. So even though it received a good score, it's not very telling on how good they're going to be able to make a title that is so dramatically different. However, we do know a little bit of details about their team. Their team consists of about 75 people, and we do know that the people in this team have experience working on games such as Ratchet & Clank, God of War, Destiny 2, Diablo 3, and Overwatch. Now, these are some of the more popular games that they've worked on and shipped that are also very similar in vision to what Godfall is going to achieve. Now, the trailer that you're seeing now is rendered in real time in the engine, and it looks absolutely amazing. The graphics in this game are stunning, and it makes a whole lot of sense why they're going to probably be leaning on the technology of the PS5 to be able to put out such a beautiful game. In fact, the characters, lootable weapons, and in-game environments are the ones that you see in the trailer. These are things that you actually are going to be able to walk around and be involved in and be immersed in. Now, as far as combat inspiration goes, they're taking a lot from the Monster Hunter series as far as the weapon diversity and the type of combat that you engage in will be based on the weapons that you're using. Now, they have said that the game is not going to really focus much on ranged combat, but ranged combat will be some sort of an option, and it's pretty much limited by cooldowns and charges of the sort. There are going to be two different primary melee weapons that you'll be able to switch between during a mission, and none of them are designed specifically for long range in mind. They're all pretty much melee weapons, but you always have some sort of choice for ranged combat. We do know that the different characters that you can choose will have ancient armor sets, and you'll be able to change them out and try different ones, and you'll be able to discover new ones and acquire new ones as you play through the game. These are called Valor Plates, and they're going to heavily change how you play the game. They also will have augment slots in which you'll be able to put small augments into them that will change how you interact and play with the game. The game will feature 3 different major modes, one being solo, one being duo, and the final being 3-player co-op. They have said that the game is designed for co-op specifically, but they've also made it so you can play the game with friends of varying levels, and it'll feel more balanced as far as contributions go. There will also be some sort of a hot join feature, so that way you don't need to queue up and wait to get into a game. They're focusing on making sure that all of the content is accessible to all players, be it solo or co-op, and making sure that everybody can have fun together and balanced. Now, we do know a little bit about the story of the game based on some interviews and some of the footage in the trailer. The basic idea is that the 3 different characters that you see in the trailer here are your 3 protagonists of some sort. You play as them, and they are the last remnants of the Exalted Knights Order, intent on stopping the apocalypse and preserving the last vestiges of their world. You'll be able to play through as all 3 of these characters, and you'll be able to try out their different armor sets as well as acquire new ones as you play through the game. In the trailer, we know that these characters are currently residing on the Earth Realm, and there are multiple realms in addition to the Earth Realm: water, air, fire, and spirit, respectively. In this trailer, we're looking at what they are calling the Skybreaker Monolith, which you'll learn more about in the start of the game, and that's the swirling maelstrom ocean sky thing coming from above, and what you're looking at is like a portal of some sort from the water realm. There's not a whole lot more about the story that's being explained to us, and this is pretty much all the information we know now. The only last bit of info that we have is that they're going to be sharing a lot more come spring, but we do know that the game is expecting to ship in holiday 2020, so we only really have about a year to wait. From what I can tell, visually the game looks amazing. However, we don't know how much of the game has already been developed, how deep into development it is in, and how much left they have to make. But as far as post-launch support goes, it seems like they're not willing to talk about some of the different post-launch plans at the moment, things like DLC and such, but they did say that they'll have a little bit more to say about this next year. Now that's all the information we have on Godfall. I'm extremely excited for this game. It reminds me so much of a lovely combination between God of War, Dark Souls, Diablo, and Borderlands, and all of the good parts put together. I can't wait to see what this game is going to be like, and I'm really excited to try out all the different weapon types. So tell me, if you were to be playing Godfall, what kind of weapon would you want in this game, and how would you want it to play? Let me know in the comment section down below. If you liked this video, go ahead and give it a like. If you disliked it, you know what to do. Be sure to share this video with your friends, that way they can learn more about the first ever announced PS5 game. And as always, guys, I'll see you guys next time.